Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter. In the last class, we have completed up to the 40th shloka. Now, once again, we will repeat today the 40th shloka and then proceed further. Arjuna Uvacha Kulakshaye Pranashyanti Kuladharma Sanatanaha Dharme nashte kulam kritsnam adharmobhibhavatyuta. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a manual given to the entire humanity. The life is a war field like. So in the war field, Mahabharata, Bhagavan Sri Krishna given this knowledge, the time tested knowledge given to the Arjuna. For what? To get out of his grief. That's why the first chapter name is given as the Arjuna Vishada Yogam. The Vishada comes to everybody. The sorrow comes to everybody in the life because of the many situations and incidents. But whether we become miserable or refuse to become miserable is our choice. To refuse to become miserable, we must have the correct identity about our own self. Otherwise, a wrong identification, the identity crisis, the cause for the shoka, moha, bhaya, and dukkha. So, Arjuna, in this particular context, what he has to supposed to do, what is his responsibility as a kshatriya, he forgotten that and started talking about the Dharma Shastra to the Bhagavan Sri Krishna. The reason is he is pointing out and showing the loopholes and the negative points from this war. But he only decided and came to the war to fight with the Kauravas and get the kingdom. But all the way after he came here, now when he saw his own relations and the friends and the grandfather and the teacher all are standing in front of him, then he become emotionally upset. The emotional breakdown happened. So because of that, then he started arguing and how it is correct to withdraw from the war. He decided already to withdraw from the war, and then he started arguing. I mean, informing to the Krishna, because Krishna is his well-wisher. He only riding the chariot, so he must inform to him and let Krishna say what he wants to say. So here in the last class we have very elaboratedly discussing about the Kulakshayam, Kuladharmam. Lot of points I have given to you. Now Arjuna is continuing the same word of the Kulakshaya from 38th shloka onwards. Now we are in the 40th shloka, and again he is going to use the same word. That means it is very important not only for Arjuna, from the angle of the Sanatana Dharma or the Dharma standpoint, this understanding the Kula Dharma is how important. So, here in this 40th shloka, if when the people not following their Kula Dharma, then what happens? Kulakshaye, the Kulam the Vamsham will get destroyed. That means what? People won't be there. People will be there. But afterwards, because of things crossbreeding, the culture will be lost. If one civilization living for a long without any disturbance and still existing means that is because of the culture. The civilization is a external hardware like, but the inner software is the samskriti, sampradaya, culture. Here in our country, we call that as the Sanatana Dharma. It is applicable for everybody in all places, in all times. But you see now there are so many big civilizations came in the world. For example, the Roman civilization, all of them have gone, completely got destroyed because there is no samskriti, continuous our culture is not there. And in between, this kind of discipline also is not there. So when the intercaste marriages and interreligious marriages like this crossbreeding happens, then the people will forget their own kula dharmam, and family relations also become weak and then nil, and the relationship between the person to person also becomes always a suspicious or expecting relationships. So because of this, people will live like a animal or like a devils. So then himsa, all kind of atrocities will increase in the society. So this is what Kula Dharma. I explained elaboratedly, no need to repeat again for you. Very important. To keep the family together, many families together, many the mm, villages together. Like this, we need some kind of a culture which is followed by from the long time. That is called Kula Dharma. Because of that, the family relations will be strong, and as well as the discipline will be more, and the person will grow because of that following the karma yoga and these religious practices. All that will makes him more a astika, a god believer. Otherwise, if he won't believe the something higher power governing and conducting everything, then he will become more egoistic. When a person becomes more egoistic, naturally he will start take revenge on the nature and the others and destroy the environment and the harmony. So, kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharmaha sanatanaha, which are coming from the long time. Those kuladharmas are all will get lost. And when the kuladharmas are lost, dharme nashte kulam, kuladharme nashte kritsinam, almost totally. And adharmaha abhivavachyuta. Then naturally the adharma lifestyle will predominate, become dominant. So overcomes indeed the adharmic lifestyle, indecent lifestyle, animalistic lifestyle. So after telling this, now in the next verse, what the word he used here is adharma bhavatyuta. He take up the thread and continuing the argument, 41st shloka. अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय जायते वर्णसङ्करः. Actually, the word here is bringing out varnasankaraha, cross breeding. See, we all believe in the particularly in the Western mentality. They are very particular about the thorough dog breeding. But when it comes to the humans, there is no proper, thorough, and dharmic, relationship. That's why in most of the Western countries, you should not ask who is your father. Or even in the hospitals, the gynecological hospitals, the women if delivers, the sister or anybody, for the sake of the writing name or anything, they should not ask about who is the father of this child. It is an offense there. Why? Because nobody knows. All crossbreeding. So if a person who doesn't have the father, you see, then what is his general English? It is abusing word, a bastard. Bastard means who doesn't have or don't know his about his father. Now everybody is a bastard in the Western countries because very difficult to trace the father. Ah, so that is the case. Then, so what happened? Intermixing, mixing. So 50% is that, and 25% is that. 25% is like that. After one or two, three, four generations, what happens? He doesn't know, and he is not a pure breed which he belongs to. There is nothing to say so great or any the pedigree about his family. So that's why the family life is very pathetic in the Europe, in the Western countries. Thank God, somehow in our country still we are maintaining. If we are also slowly, many of them are diverted because of this Westernization, the Western civilization. See, hmm? And all this will destroy the families. So when there is no strong families, there cannot be a strong village. Or when there are no strong villages, there is no strong towns or the urban areas. When then there are no strong cities and urban areas, there is no strong nation. Nowadays, if we talk like that, then we think America and other big many countries are all very strong. No, sir. Economically, they forward. But you know the crisis and the problems of those countries. If you go and look into deep, you will know. All the statistics which generally the World Health Organizations take out every year or once in 2 years, the atrocities, the negative aspects in the society which are not healthy conditions, they are more in those so-called economically forward countries. Please note it. For example, murders, drunkards, debaucherers, abortions, smoking, killings, all these are all very high in percentage. Drug addiction. So then how you can say economically forward? Simply by having a lot of the luxurious lifestyle, can we call it as a real human existence or human life? That's why everybody only on the basis of the law. That's why for everything they sue on you. I mean, they will put a suit case, court case. So everything is the life is a matter of fact there, not a matter of love. I told that's why average every male will have 5 to 6 marriages, and every woman will have the 4 to 5 marriages in the life. Is it the life? So when we think, so Arjuna's arguments are very correct in this in this angle. Then what he says here, 41st shloka, adharma bhavat Krishna. When the adharma increased more, there is no control on their character, and there is a threat to protect their character, and there is a urge from within also. Anything can happen. I told what is the reason. Particularly, we are talking about the kulastriya. Here he brings the word pradushyanti kulastriyaha. I'm already talking about this point, how the women is very important in our society. The woman's life fulfillment is only when she develops the matrutva bhavana, the motherly nature, and then only her life is fulfilled. So she is the main key person in the family. She is like a deity. She is like a Lakshmi. She is like a goddess, and she should be protected and taken care by all the male husband or any male person in the family, son and everybody. And what is her duty? She should look after the entire family's welfare, and she has to uh, serve them by cooking the food and all that. Not only just cooking the food. I told no, Shivaji like a son brought up by not um, a fashion model or the somebody cinema actor. She is a housewife, a mother only, a real Indian mother only. A fashion model girl cannot bring her children in a proper way. Now, the mother's duty is that to create a good children and make them a very good conduct and the disciplined, patriotic, and devotional citizens. That is her main top priority. When this top priority has kept down and taken the money, job, earning, going out, doing projects, and entering into every field, that is not important. That is not primary. According to our countries, our Sanatana Dharma culture. But it is very difficult to digest or accept this point. But the fact is, we are facing the effect of this kind of women are so much involved in the external world rather than taking care of their family and the children. Rather than the father, the mother is more important to bring up the children. So mother is a role model. How the child have got the attachment with the mother from the very the day beginning, the day one. That means in the womb itself, 9 months, very closely associated with the mother. Then after he comes out, the child starts observing and knowing and very closely still living with the mother only. Always he is very much kept touched with the heart of the mother. So whatever mother speaks, whatever mother do, everything he observes the child. So if the mother is from the beginning itself uh, talking good, behaving good, and afterwards the making the child also to understand the dharma, goodness, all these kind of divine qualities. Then that child, through the stories, through the Ramayana, Bhagavata, Bharata, the child will grow in it as a total personality, an integrated person. Nowadays, even 3 months baby left at home and the woman goes for job because they are paying so much. So in that I can pay little and kept some ayah, engage some servant, and she will take care. So she won't feel even to feed the baby. They will take medicine to stop their milk. So breastfeeding and the close touch of the mother to the small baby, how important that also not realized by our modern women. Very pathetic situation. Why all this means? The desires, more independence we want. See, independence is not living as you like. The real independence is living with the rules and regulations, and a controlled lifestyle is called a real independence. But what is our understanding? More you are independent. I am having a freedom, so I can talk anything, I can do anything, I can live as I like. So, but that is not going to help the person or the society. So here, what is brought out the important thing, kulastriyaha, the women folk in the society will get corrupted, pradushyanti. When the stree, because when the ladies goes in a wrong way and corrupted, then naturally the custodian of the family or the child is also corrupted. Then what she can teach, what she can talk, and she can bring up the child. So that is the problem. Kulastriha prashupradushanti. Please take in a right sense how the women is important in the society, in the family. A strong family, a strong nation is because of the strong women folk. Strong women folk means not just going and working outside anything. Taking care of their own families, that itself is enough. Naturally, then good citizens, good sons will born. Swami Vivekananda used to say that if a child is not born out of the prayers of these parents, the child become a burden to the earth, burden to the earth. So the prayer, the child should be born with the prayers. Oh Lord, please give us a child who is going to follow the Sanatana Dharma, the Vaidika Dharma, Veda Santati. That is the reason the marriage, according to our Indian tradition, marriage is not just a joining of the male and female and for the pleasure and the enjoyment sake. It is much, much, much more than that. What is it? It is a lifelong bond. Each one live for each other, and each one helps each other to grow spiritually. And not only that, the mantras will say in the marriage mantras, through us, let a Veda Santati, the children should born. So they start praying from the day one onwards. We should become the medium to bring that Rishi Parampara, Veda Santati, the progeny, and they are going to be a good citizens on the earth. Then only the mother earth also will appreciate and be happy. Otherwise she'll curse. See, we are so much forgetting about the how the mother nature is the best teacher. So here mother is a best teacher and nature is the best teacher, and the mother is the first god, nature is also is the goddess. So very thoughtfully our rishis or the Sanatana Dharma prescribed the all the way of living how. So here Pradushyanti Kulastriyaha Ye Varshneya Vrishnivamsha, who born in the Vrishnivamsha, a Krishna, there is another name for Krishna is Varshneya. Strishu Dushtasu, when the ladies are corrupted, go in a wrong way, and have a relations with the different kinds of religions or the Jati people, the men folk, then what happens? Varna Sankaraha Jayate. This Varna Sankara is a very dangerous one because finally everybody live like a brute. Okay, and there is no custom, there is no following, there is no pedigree, there is no greatness to say, feel no self-esteem about my family, my tradition, I belong to like this. The belongingness will go. So Varna Sankara, this cross breeding leads to their disaster. take it in a positive sense. All humans are same. We should not think like that. Shastra is not simply Shastra don't want us to put in trouble or don't want to unnecessarily uh, criticize us. Shastra means Shasanat is Shastram. For our own benefit only Shastra talking, not for anybody's. What Shastra will get, what Manu will get by writing his sutras and code of conduct for the human beings. So this Varna Sankara is the crossbreeding is the it destroy that culture, that Sanatana Dharma, and that's why nobody now follow that. For example, if a one religion person marries, even in the one religion itself, even slightest differences, marriages will lead to problems. They cannot adjust. They cannot adjust. Another thing, if the protection is not there and more freedom given for the women, okay, then what happens? The atrocities will be more. The rapes or kidnaps or in what kind of all things. So then naturally, the women folk lost the way, and there is no protection for them. Then naturally, the children which are born to them is not going to become a good citizens. So Varna Sankaram will happen. So arise the caste admixture. So in this, there is no. Then it is like becomes like animalistic lifestyle. Then after saying this, generally people will ask that I told already Kula Dharmam, so many are there. For example, we say put the Shraddha for the Pindadana for the departed souls, Pitru Karyam. But nowadays people will argue, youngsters are how what is the use of doing that? When we give here food, how that food will go to them? What is the need? All they will ask. It is actually not to, Shastra says you believe and do it. That's why Shraddhaya Diyate iti Shraddham. It is only Shraddha. Shraddha means what? My faith. What for the faith? It is not a blind faith. Because of this faith, putting the Shraddha, I am showing my gratitude to my uh, ancestors. Without the ancestors, I may come. Can I come to exist? So I must be grateful. By showing that grateful, to show that gratefulness, only this kind of rituals. Whether the food reaches to them, that is not a point to discuss or they prove through the science. But Shastra says you believe it. By doing, your mind will be purified. You will be peaceful. You will be happy. Otherwise, you will have a guilty feeling. That's why when the parents are living with us, we don't know the value of them. Most of them ill treat them. They won't take care of the old parents and all that. But once that they depart and gone, then they feel guilty. When my parents were there, I could not do anything to them. I didn't help them. I didn't serve them. And it is too late to think in that way. So and better think properly and live properly. Then only it will be useful. So here, this Varna Sankara is a very dangerous situation if it grows in the uh, society. Let that particular kula dharma, they let them follow. Let will continue. What is wrong in it? And like that, other their family kula dharmas they will follow, and all those families are very happy and strong and living together. The together and these all families together becomes a society. So a healthy family is very important for a healthy society and a healthy nation. Now, what Arjuna says further, Sankaro narakayaiva kulagnanam kulasya cha पतन्ति पितरो ह्येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः. This is only just now I mentioned about this Shraddha karma. Because of this Varna Sankara, see, is continuing taking that one word and putting his argument forward. Sankaraha, this is, intermixing of the castes and all these things leads to only Narakayaiva, they leads to the hell. Here I will tell you one point. Hell means not only what Puranas are explained, and so many places are there in that hell, this kind of torture will be given for this kind of sin. That is okay. That is invisible, adrushtam. We can't see, we don't know, we cannot prove it now here. But another way you can think, here itself his life becomes a narakam. At the end of the life, nobody will be there with him. He lived like a dog or any animal like. And finally, he dies with a lot of pain and suffering and mental agony. These are all narakam. Or for your actions, the results are given here itself. The bad actions, papa karmas will give the papa phalam. So you may suffer because with the disease or any kind of accidents or so on, so forth. So these are all narakam. You can see here itself how many people are suffering in different ways. So narakam means we need not to believe that it is somewhere it is there. You believe, Shastra says, but in front of your eyes you can see drishtam, visible. Why this kind of suffering to that people? Because of his actions only. Whatever you sow, that you reap. Your action is only the giving the phalam. Yat karma tat phalam. So Sankaraha leads to the Naraka, Narakayeva. Then Kulagnanam Kulasya cha. This Kulagnana means who destroys their own families in this way, and all the menfolk are killed, only women are left, and there is no enough men to take care of them, and naturally the outsiders, the intruders, the devil natured people will come and first they will target the women. They destroy the woman's character. That is what they do, what the Mughals did here. Yes. So Kulasyaja. So killing of the own families of that families naturally will fall in the hell, because generally if two different religion people married, then if this boy says that girl will listen, put the shraddha, she doesn't know anything about it, she doesn't like also, then, or if the girl is interested and telling, this boy will listen, he's from different caste or the different religion. So naturally, ultimately, they stop all this kind of uh, worshipping the god, family deity, relation, and the rituals, and putting the shraddham and all this. All this will accumulate as the papam to them, and that because of that, this pitaraha, the ancestors, will deprived of the lupta. Lupta means deprived of the pinda udaka. See, whatever Shastra says that Shraddha day, making a hot rice balls, very hot, and keeping them in the hot sun directly, and leaving some water. So that becomes the subtle energy to the Pitru Devatas. Pitrus are there, not only your family ancestors and the grandparents, but actually this Pinda Danam and the Udaka Danam is meant for all the jivas who are not able to go for a higher good life and still roaming here in there in a preta Pishacha, Bhuta, subtle etheric bodies. For all of their purpose also, it is like a gathering and keeping the Prime Minister's relief fund. Then the Prime Minister is Ishvara here. So when we are all giving the fund 1 rupee, that Pindadanam, Udagadanam, this Daiva Yagnam, Pitru Yagnam, Pancha Yagnas, all this goes to that energy, the food goes to the and the Reserve Bank like that Prime Minister's relief fund. Then that will be distributed and given. So that means it is a totally a cosmic harmony and the living living everyone for each other. So it is a kind of sharing gratitude. See how much joy is there in that. Instead of that asking and putting a questions, do you believe that Pitrus are there? They are dead long ago. Whether they are eating or not, how you do, how you know? These are all the silly nonsense questions. It is as simple as that. Show your gratitude by doing the Shraddha with faith. So that makes those Pitaraha uh, to become happy and they will bless you when they are in the pitru and different other etheric subtle bodies. They have got more power to bless you. So that's why there are so many examples. Once in one lady's house, she is a air hostess and married some other boy religion or some other caste boy. And in her house, what happened? The crow used to come and inside the house and starts living there and taking the food from her hand also. Generally, crows never come closer to the human beings. They are very suspicious animal birds, and not only that, they never enter into the house also. Then why it is happening like that differently? Then she went and asked some Jyotishar or astrologer. That person said, after your marriage, you have not gone so far to your Kula Devata and not done any puja. That is the problem. Then go and do all the puja and do Annadanam and everything, visit, worship, pray. So this is not just like created a cock and bull story. But same time, we should not become so afraid of those incidents or things. So have a faith on God, have a faith on Shastra, have a faith on the words of the elders of the family and the society, and lead a good life. Ultimately, you won't be live peacefully, happily, and slowly transcend all these things and come to the ultimate gnana. See, that's why live in karma yoga and then practice and get out of the karma. Start the leading of the religious lifestyle and slowly convert to the spiritual lifestyle. And for that spiritual lifestyle, you need the preparation and the qualification that will come through the karma yoga. Under the karma yoga only, all these kind of panchamaha yagnas or everything are described. Nitya karma, Naimityaka karma, Prashchita karma, Parihara karma, Nishiddha karma. Understand, listen about all of them and learn it, know it. Not to get confused by knowing so many things. Make your life a systematic, disciplined, anushtana, uh, tapomaya jivanam, a sacrifice type of life, a dedicated life for the sake of realizing the truth. So, in this way, the karma, if you say, if I have to get out of the karma, then why have to do the karma at all? You cannot ask like that. Then I will tell you one or two examples. The baby should start take the birth and grow in the mother's womb. Is it correct or not? The baby should grow in the mother's womb for 9 months. Then after that, the baby child cannot stay in the mother's womb. If the baby wants to continue to stay in the mother's womb, then it is a danger, life threat to both the child and the mother. So grow in the womb and get out of the womb. If anybody asks foolishly, anyhow I have to get out of the womb, why I have to go and grow in the mother's womb? Then where you will grow? In a test tube? Even if not grown properly, premature baby, very difficult to survive after coming out. That's why they put it in incubators. The artificial environment they will create as like some children, babies will born at 6 months and 7 months. And difficult to survive. Then what to say about without going to the mother's home? If this example is clear, okay, I will tell you in a still simpler example, very common one. The pole vault jump. A person who takes the big bamboo stick pole and came in running and nail in the earth, and then he goes up because of the support of that bamboo stick and go to the top, and they kept one line a stick there in the top. He has to cross and fall that side. Then before falling that side, what he will do, he has to leave this pole, this bamboo stick. Oh, if you ask, I have to leave the bamboo stick anyhow, why I have to carry? Then can you climb and jump on that side and get the prize gold medal? No. Or if another person says, all the way this stick helped me to go up, and so how can I leave that bamboo stick? I want to bring that stick also this side. That is also wrong. So use the stick, throw the stick. Use the paper cup for coffee or anything ice cream and throw it. Use it and throw. Just like that, karma yoga, you use it and keep it side. Throw it out means now you promote yourself to the higher, to the gnana. That's why the lifestyle also prescribed in 4 levels, no? 4 stations, we say, or 4 trains we have to get, and 4 stations. What are the trains for? Brahmacharya train, Grihastha train, Vanaprastha train, and the Sannyasa train. Now, what are the stations comes in this? While doing these four, what are the important things? You have to get down and you have to get in and get down and get in, get down. Dharma, learn all the dharma in Brahmacharya ashram itself and practice that dharma in the Grihastha, okay? Grihastha family. That means dharma, artha, and kama. Artha kama, you can earn the money, you can enjoy the life. Okay. Now, finally, what that sannyasa we said is the moksha. So, 4 ashrama dharmas, 4 trains, 4 stations, 4 purusharthas. Okay. Brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That's it. If you understand, it is very simple. After telling this, in 43rd shloka, दोषैरेतैः कुलघ्नानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्साद्यन्ते जातिधर्माः कुलधर्म कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः. By these evil deeds, killing our own family members and all these things, these kulagnanam, destroyers of the, they become a destroyers of their own family. We are with our own hands, we are going to kill all these people like this, then it is going to lead a disaster. after effect is so terrible. This varna sankara karakaihi kulagnanam etaihi doshaihi, by performing this kind of war and killing our own family members, and which leads to the varna sankara uh, crossbreeding, and that kind of varna sankara karakaihi etaihi doshe, this kind of evil actions utsadyante, they are destroying really jati dharma and kula dharma. Same thing is using the same word, jati dharma, kula dharma, which are shashvataha, which are eternally coming and practiced by the people slowly. Now you just think of from 50, 40, 50 years before, how our grandmothers and how our families are, how we lived. Now who are in the 50, 60 years, just think of. But now those kind of environment atmosphere is not there at all. See now how our youngsters are leading in a very modern, sophisticated, and dangerous world wide web. They caught up. All are only hmm, going for fashion, eat, drink, and enjoy, do merry. How much you can earn, how much you can gain, but how much you are giving, nobody is not right. And moreover, not respecting this country or the Sanatana Dharma or Rishi Parampara. I belong to such a Gotra, and I born in such a good, great family, but now I am living like a fool. I am living a wretched life. I don't know how to put a proper dress. I don't know how to keep myself uh, a cultured, civilized person, and I do whatever I want. And all are nishacharas, like nishacharas means that night moving, night time, midnight moving nishacharas, preta, bhuta, pishachas, they will move. Now everybody up to right 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, are working throughout the night and sleeping morning up to again 10 o'clock. Then what is the lifestyle? So this is what more we become westernized and our attention is returned towards that money. When the kama and um, artha and kama predominant in the life, the dharma and moksha are pressed down. When go to the bottom, then naturally your life is not fulfilled as a human being. You may live, you may live, but that is not the purpose of our this Shastra and the Sanatana Dharma Rishi Parampara. So let us understand. So Shashvataha Kuladharmaha cha Utsadyante. Jati Dharma, Kula Dharmas are get destroyed and Varna Sankara will happen. Same point only. He is keep on repeating and telling to the Krishna again and again. Then what will happen? उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासः भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुमा. We have heard in through our Shastra, hey Janardana, Krishna, for Manushas, for the human beings like this, who becomes the cause of their own family destruction, Kuladhar and destruction of the Kuladharma and family dharma, okay, Sanatana Dharma. For him, the Naraka, he is for next living uh, Vasam. His residence is going to become the hell. Narake niyatam vasaha. Naraka word again used. Again Utsanna word used. Same words he is using and trying to emphasize and tell the same point to the Krishna, because this is a very strongest argument from the Arjuna's side. To say, in fact, in the whole first chapter, this is the very, very important point for the Dharma standpoint to understand our Sanatana Dharma. But whether Arjuna talking here it is right or not, Krishna will decide, because talking in a Wrong context, good things is not correct. So Arjuna is talking good thing, but in the wrong context. That we have to see. So Narake Niyatam Vasaha. Definitely that person's next stay will be only in the Naraka. We know that we heard from the Shastra only, Arjuna, Krishna. Huh? You also maybe heard. Here he says Sushruma. Sushruma means we heard. Then he says, "Bah, at last he's justifying his argument. Somehow, luckily, we are escaped. अहो बत महत्पापं कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयं यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः. Aho, alas, thank God, we have not started this war, which is a mahat papam kartum. To do this great sin of this war, we have not yet started. We are not yet involved. Vyavasitam vayam mahat papam kartum. Aho bata. That aho bata means thank God. At last, alas, good. We have not started. What for this action? What action? Yad rajya sukalobhena. Because of the greediness of the kingdom and all that, involving and going to kill the Swajanam, we have not yet taken aggressive action. Hantum Swajanam Udyataha. We have not yet taken a strong decision. I mean, we have not yet started, committed. Hantum. For the sake of the, all this is only for the sake of the kingdom only, no? And after getting the kingdom, the enjoyment and the sukham. With the greediness of the kingdom and the pleasures after the gaining the kingdom, for all that which we thought of to start and involve in this war, luckily we have not started. Thank God. Like that, he is justifying himself. See, very good. We have escaped. Otherwise, niyatam narakam only. So, in fact, then finally, 46th verse, he is telling, he is coming to the now final conclusion like decision. Yedi mama pratikaram ashastram shastrapanayah धार्तराष्ट्रारणे हन्युः तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत्. O Arjuna, oh Krishna, Janardana, see, if at all those Dhritarashtra, the children of these Dhritarashtra and they all in that Kaurava side people who are all with a lot of weapons and astra shastras, they may come and attack me who I am without any instrument, any weapon in my hand. Okay, let them come and kill me. I think that is better. Kshemataram bhaved. It is good if they come with a lot of weapons and catch hold of me and if they kill me, uh, it is good. And I am not going to take any revenge or taking the weapon in the hand. Mam apratikaram, mam pratikaram ashastram. Okay. I am not having any weapon. I don't going to take any revenge on them. Let them come and kill me. See, now this is the uh, too much climax. When a person is now he's ready to die himself, even though they come and kill. What it shows? It shows the impotency. There is no any commitment to the cause. This is what happens. Many people in the world, they commit suicide. Okay, they commit suicide. That is a biggest sin according to Shastra. For small exam failed, people will commit suicide. By a love affair failed, commit suicide. Not only youngsters, not only poor people. You can see the all variety of fields in the society. We wonder when we see the news in the paper or TV. A collector committed suicide, magistrate committed suicide, police officer, military officer, cinema actor, and children, lovers. Why this suicide tendency will come? The suicidal tendency is because lack of confidence, lack of understanding, and feeling that I am doing a lot of sacrifice. It is a totally emotional bankruptcy and become helpless. I want to somehow escape from all these kind of troubles. But you think that it is you want to escape. It is not, you are not escaping. You are going to caught up by this action. The next life will continue more miserable, more miserable. That's why according to Atmahatya Mahapatakam, our Shastra says, never thought of or you are not supposed to kill yourself. Okay? But a king or the Kshatriya ready to fight and die in the war field for the sake of dharma, that is different. Kshatriya will get the Veera Maranam and the Swargam. But generally we are talking. But here Arjuna Kshatriya only, no? Why he is so become weak and uh, lost his strength and confidence and no proper thinking? Everything got lost. He got deluded completely with his own arguments, with his own judgments, with his own imagination. That's why Bhagavan didn't speak even a single word in between. Now, after telling this climax words, I am ready to die myself. Even they come with the weapons and all that. I'm not going to take any weapon. I just surrender to them. Let them kill. I think this is much better for me. Kshemataram bhavet. Kshemataram means it is superlative degree. That's the best. How it can become best? A Kshatriya should not behave like this. Or if you take Atmahatya is a Mahapatakam big sin, now he forgot in the Shastra regarding this point, but he argued by putting the Shastra forward so many things, Kula Dharmam, Sanatana Dharmam, this, that. See, he himself is confused what he's talking and what he is supposed to do, and he taken the decision. Now, final sloka of this chapter, this whole scenario, everything is told by Sanjaya. Don't forget. And the first sloka, Dhritarashtra asked the question, tell me exactly, Sanjaya, what happened? How come Bhishma Charya fallen down? Because of the arrows of the Arjuna. I expected Arjuna never take the arrow and shoot the arrow against the grandfather. So what Bhishma, what Dhritarashtra expected, that happened actually, Arjuna. But after that, the plate has turned. How it has turned? If Arjuna run away from the war field, then there is no question of Bhishmacharya falling down. There is no question of Dhritarashtra's question. There is no question of Bhagavad Gita teaching. And there is no question of for us to read and listen the Bhagavad Gita. Yes? So Sanjaya conveying now, the master of ceremony, like, Eva Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Muktvarjuna Sankhe Radhopastavupavishat Visrujya Sacharam Chapam Shoka Samvignamanasaham. Sanjaya conveying to Dhritarashtra, having said this much, Evam uktva Arjuna Sankhe in that war field, he just then sat in the chariot in his cabin. Arjuna, Krishna is as a charioteer, he is sitting on his seat, and Arjuna is in the uh, chariot middle. And before itself, he said that I am not able to hold my bow and arrow. They are slipping from my hand, so I am resting on the ground. My head is reeling. Now, what he did, he kept it down. Visruja sacharam chapam. The bow and the arrows he just kept down and sat with shoka samvighna manasaha, with a pitiable, grieving, and sorrowful mind. The mind is which is filled with the shokam, confusion, and all that. He just sat down. That's why in many pictures, Gita Upadesham, Arjuna sitting in the front. Sometimes he sits like that, his sorrow. Then only Gita Upadesham started. Then he prayed to the Lord, "What to do? Tell me." So like this, Sanjaya conveyed, and then after that, Arjuna didn't stop. He's expecting some question or answer from the Krishna. He just given a little gap. He sat. He expected Krishna may ask the question what he expected and what Krishna did. Further, second chapter is very important. There only after 11th 10 from 11th shloka, Bhagavan Krishna going to take up and gives the real wisdom to the Arjuna to remove his sorrow. Is a shoka samvighna manasaha. Now he has to be get out of that first of all. So what it is that we'll see, and every chapter, maybe next week I'll give the summary of this entire chapter, and then we'll see further. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.